Hello friends, I'm Gaurav and I want to say something. What comes to your mind first when you hear the word peace? A big fin sticking out of the seawater, large razor-shaped teeth, or those are dampfer, just a gigantum, or the world's most terrifying fish. And why wouldn't it be? Because from childhood till now, we've only seen their terror, horror, in the media. But perhaps seeing this image will change your perspective of looking at sharks. What do you think? Which fish is this? Confused? This isn't just any ordinary fish, but a type of shark known as the ultra-rare pocket shark. So rare that it has been seen only twice so far. But why is it so small compared to other sharks? And are these species really quite rare? Because if you look at it, and you might have heard this several times, that so far we have only explored 5% of the ocean. And out of that, only 20 to 25% is known to us about the species of plants. So it's possible, isn't it, that there could be more species in the ocean, but we just can't reach them. And it's a lot with this shark. This is not very good if you want to see something later. Well, for that matter, we have to start with how many secrets of sharks are known to us today. In the year 2010 in the Gulf of Mexico, scientists found a miniature creature. Meaning it's it's as small as the size of our cell phone, and maybe that's why you might think it got its name, because of its pocket size. But hear you? Although it's pocket size, it has two large pouches in front of its front fin, similar to a kangaroo, hence pocket size, which produce a kind of luminous fluid. Now, like how this shark detects any prey around it, then it slowly releases this fluid from these pouches so that the prey is attracted towards it, if possible. So to attract the prey, it secretes luminous fluid. But if it seems to him that he is about to become the prey of someone, he starts to release this luminous fluid more rapidly so that he can dodge his predators and start moving away. So this fluid has offensive plus defensive properties. Consider it like a squid, how it releases ink and immediately runs away. But this is just a speculation by scientists. Because as I said, it's not a surprise. Let's move on for now. Only twice. The same specimen was discovered 36 years ago in 1980. Southeast Pacific Ocean's Nazca Submarine Ridge. I found it in what is today the Russian Museum in St. Petersburg, showcased, and even there this shark is so tiny that it's next to impossible to dissect. And that's why studying it is so difficult. If it's releasing this luminous fluid, can it be inferred that it might live in deep trenches, because this is why it has evolved the property to secrete luminous fluids? And if we're talking about deep ocean layers, this isn't the only shark species. In fact, you can find a shark species in every layer of the oceans. Sharks have existed in the different layers of the ocean. You will have a question in your mind about how it is so much. And why is this important for us to know? Well, that's because the human brain wants to control everything. And it kind of freaks out with uncertainty. For this, we need to look at the evolution of sharks. Sharks remain one of the Earth's most ancient creatures because the first shark evolved around 450 million years ago. That's odd, and it was still evolved. You see, sharks were already there when the first ocean life stepped onto land. Sharks were there even when the supercontinent Gondwana was they divided into individual continents. And they were present even when the Earth faced 5 major extinctions. The world was being destroyed, but so far, no event has even slightly impacted the sharks. Why is it that? Why are these creatures so resilient? But for this, let's first talk about sharks. The very first shark existed 450 million years ago today. The first bony fish were acanthodians. At that time, these were among the fish whose ancestors had just begun to evolve. This made hunting easier for them. And then after some time passed, the Middle Devonian era began, giving birth to the first fully formed. The name of this shark was Leonarder's shark, which was an emerged 16-inch elite shark. Now, if you have seen an eel, the structure of this shark was somewhat similar. These small George might look small, but they can easily prey on fish much larger than themselves. And then some time passed and the Carboniferous period began. This period is also called the Golden Age of Sharks, and in general, the Golden Age of Animals. During this time, sharks began to evolve rapidly into different species, like rays, skates, and chimeras, which some people also call chimeras, and fellow few strays, like Stetacanthus, Eugenodontida, and Phelicites. The rapid developments during this period make sharks what they are. Basically, he was the king of the ocean. Sharks' bodies and senses developed to such an extent that they could easily detect fish within a 15-meter range around them. A tapetum lucidum is essentially a reflective layer behind the eyes, allowing them to easily detect objects in low light. If they can diagnose blood dissolved in water. A drop can also be easily smelled. Along with all these senses, they also have a sense that makes them the apex predator of the entire ocean. Electrorescent. Sharks can detect even the muscle contractions of hidden fishes in the ocean floor soil with sensors on their skin. And then they easily make those fish their prey, and basically the search for food becomes very easy. Today, there are over 1,000 different shark species existing in the world. Those who have maintained their dominance in the oceans with the help of their abilities, not just for 100 or 1,000 years, but for 450 million years. Sharks are literally survival machines. Now, if we want to fully understand sharks, we need to study each of them individually. But here comes a significant increase. Every shark species is slightly different from the other. Sometimes the same species is found surviving in two different environments, and sometimes two entirely different species are found in the same location. So, it's clear that before studying sharks, we need to track them. And to do this, in 2007, at Florida's Mote Marine Laboratory, they started, and Mexican whale shark scientist Rafael de la Parra has been observed popping on one of the whale sharks gathering for feeding in Cancun. By attaching a satellite tag, they began tracking its flight. Basically, a pop-up satellite tag is a satellite transmitter designed especially for recording the behaviors and habitats of marine species. The tags deployed on marine species collect data on the particular area's temperature, pressure, depth, and location, and then scientists uplink the trends via satellite. One das men tiempo se desasí. And as soon as 5 months are complete, these tags detach themselves from the marine species, now tracking one such tag on a whale shark. And scientists have named that shark. During a tracking expedition, scientists observed that a Rio lady's bulkiness suddenly started to increase. It was because the shark was pregnant, and perhaps that's why it was traveling through coastal areas. Because for the first time, there's more food available in the coastline areas, and also another reason is safety. This thing provided scientists with the answer to why sharks appear more towards the coastlines during birth, and they are naturally attracted there. But before any more information could be obtained, unfortunately, it was lost. 5 minutes complete, and that beat that. But after this research, the pathways for scientists to study sharks became easier, and they make another video in 2018. Try to track another shark from the same location once, but this time with a new technology. Smart position and temperature satellite tag. Basically, both pop tags and spot tags work similarly, but the spot satellite tag analyzes the data very precisely. With this tactic, scientists once again arrived at Cancun, and it seems you won't believe scientists indeed found the same shark, Rio Lady, at the same location again. On the hunt hard, which was unbelievable. As soon as the spot satellite tag was activated, within a few months, scientists confirmed it. They noticed that the travel path from the last 5 months and the current travel path differ significantly. Not a single region matched the previous one, and hence the study suggested that, like any wildlife species, sharks change their migration paths at any time within a year. Pathways do not repeat, and perhaps it's precisely this migrating behavior that has, evolutionarily speaking, given sharks many advantages. And today they are able to rule over the entire oceans. But scientists have also observed this, that no shark ever travels in groups during their entire lifespan. The reason is quite simple, because a shark relies on 20 to 30% of marine life in its region for sustenance. And as the saying goes, two swords cannot exist in one sheath. A similar logic applies here. If 4 to 5 sharks travel together, they won't get a proper amount of food, and moreover, will miss out on the whole meal. The whole ecosystem would be destroyed, meaning it couldn't be revived. If I explain it in a bit more detail, basically one of the prey of sharks includes sea turtles, which survive on seagrass.
Now for an example, assume that if there were no sharks, in this case the population of sea turtles would increase. And they keep eating all the seagrass and finishing it off. And if that happens, all the other fishes like shellfish and other marine life that rely on seagrass for food will starve, and those that rely on fishes will increase. Then they are eliminated one by one. On the other hand, if sharks hunted all the sea turtles and eliminated them, then the amount of algae and seagrass would start increasing rapidly, due to which one cannot enter nor exit the sunlight portal. And the result will be the entire system getting destroyed. So to maintain a balance in both cases for sharks, this rule is very important. But the way we are killing these sharks for our own benefit, it doesn't seem like this ocean life is a minor thing. We'll be able to maintain balance for quite some time. According to many studies conducted so far, every year 100 million sharks are killed for their meat, internal organs, skins, and fins. So we are keeping an eye on our 200 sharks. And out of this, 73 million sharks are caught every year just for fishing. 3 or 4% of the body part is killed just for the sake of it, and without thinking, government-sponsored shark kills are carried out. And because of this, 31 shark species are on alert. Now, if we look, sharks have been evolving for more than 400 million years, who have survived not 1, not 2, but 5 massive mass extinctions. Due to human commercial activities, due to human greed, it's extinct. Anticipation, are now in danger.
So friends, that situation has come where we need to sit down and think with a calm mind. For us, commercial activities are more important, and those few industries that are linked with these activities. Or is the marine ecosystem more important for us? Do you think action will be taken on this matter, or will the industry folks bribe the government to keep quiet? And may we not face any new calamity? Write down your views in the comment section. Also, I would love to know your opinion on evolution, especially about the evolution of sharks. What do you think about sharks which you don't know about, pairs? Would be very surprising to you. It's awesome. If you learned anything new from this video, don't forget to hit like. Leave your thoughts or opinions in the comments below. Subscribe to the Surface Science channel right now and hit the bell notification so you don't miss the latest videos coming up. See you next time, friends. Until then, as always, stay curious, keep learning, and keep growing.